Hey everybody, Princess Friend here. I have some interesting news actually. An article was shared with me by a friend of the channel where there's news that the book, the memoir that Prince was working on, could actually soon be released. There's an episode of the show called Strictly Business. It's a podcast by Variety.com, and they actually have a person from ICM, which is a book publisher, on the show, and she actually kind of has a little bit of info that she leaked about Prince's memoir. The first thing that she shares is actually kind of how it made it happen, which I found pretty interesting. Prince was really on board with making this memoir happen, but they literally went to Paisley Park and she brought 3 editors with her, and they all kind of sat down and struck a deal that was beneficial for everybody. And that's the power that Prince had when it came to negotiating his terms his way. And she even goes on and says that never happens. Nobody gets that kind of treatment. But they gave that kind of treatment to Prince because he is that strong of a personality that if you really want his story, you're gonna bend the knee in Game of Thrones terms. So the biggest thing that she did reveal, that Prince had delivered 50 handwritten manuscript pages before he died. Now, that was actually kind of interesting, because that number 50, they only got 50 pages done of his memoir, was what I've heard, which is not necessarily the same as 50 handwritten pages were submitted, because Prince wasn't writing the book. Prince was the one who had the stories, and, he gave it to the writer, who then was going to actually write it as a book, and then it would all get edited and stuff. So that right there is a huge deal. Now, we all kind of have seen Prince's notes and what he writes, and he doesn't write small. A lot of his notes are very large writing. But you can imagine that even with 50 handwritten manuscripts, he could have definitely have fit enough information for an entire book on 50 pages, even with big handwriting, because it depends on how detailed he needed to go into these conversations and these stories that he was willing to share. Or if it was just a name-dropping book, that could take 1 page. This person sucks. That person stole this. That person did this. I mean, you could do that in a quick outline. But, that's kind of the thing here, is that the way that it had always been said was they only finished 50 pages before he died, and that is different than him submitting 50 handwritten manuscript pages to the publisher before his death. That is completely different, which is why we know now that this book is going to be released now. There actually was enough for them to complete a book. It wasn't just 50 pages and that's all we get. They are releasing a book. And I think that's the most exhilarating information ever. So the words that will be in that book will be basically extrapolated from Prince's handwritten notes. They won't necessarily be Prince's exact words or whatever. They'll be elaborated on, and they'll be expanded on by the writer, who obviously has his own deadlines and whatnot. You guys know I'm a writer, so I completely understand the idea of taking a basic concept and being able to explain it more and more in depth. But I think that is just amazing. So I literally just can't wait. So they're saying that the book will be out soon. They don't have any details. They didn't give a date. But the fact that it is actually even going to be released, because that's a big deal right there. I wasn't even sure that it was going to be released if they only had 50 pages. What are you going to do, release a 50-page book? Yes, you could, and we would all buy it, but it wouldn't be substantial enough. But again, the revelation that it was not 50 pages. It was 50 handwritten manuscript pages that was submitted to be turned into a book. And it could have been more. It could have ended up being 100 or 200 or whatever had he not died. But the fact that he was able to get that information in, and that the fact that the ICM publishers were keeping all of that under wraps. I believe that they were specifically making it, obscuring the truth so that people would see that, oh, it's not going to be a big deal, so that they could go, boom, now we're going to release this book. So I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys are too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and do all that stuff. Hit me up on social media like you have by sending me awesome articles like this so that I can come and report it to the Prince community. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts down in the comment about this. I'm also going to link the episode of Strictly Business so that everybody can go and check that out as well. Until next time, may you live to see the dawn. And if you liked that video, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down there. It's right in the corner. And also, there's other videos below me. Definitely check those out. Also, follow us on social media, and you can support the channel by visiting our Patreon or our Redbubble merch store. See you next time.